Buenos dias, amigos. So we've got to dig 6 holes for our shade structure that's going to be connecting to our trailer. We've got 1 started, 2, 3, and 4. Unfortunately, we're on a bunch of rock. This is all the rock we've taken out just this morning. As you can see, we're mining for rock while simultaneously digging holes. It's been fun.
It's less digging, more picking.
Yeah, it's less digging, more picking. And sometimes we hit giant chunks, and other times we hit a full wall of caliche. This hole has been the easiest thus far.
No, it hasn't.
Are you sure?
Because this is the hole that I pulled that bad boy out of, which is now the step to our trailer.
Yeah, I wasn't here for that.
That's why it's easy now, because I got the hard part out.
Well, thanks for helping. However, these rocks are beneficial. We can use it for gabion walls, landscaping. We have so many uses for it, and we have an abundance of it. So it's a little bit more work and more labor intensive, but we're glad to have the rock because rock is not cheap. Mark's already worked a full 2 days?
Yeah, this is like day 3.
Yeah, this is day 3. Third day I'm actually gonna be helping him. So we're gonna see how much we can get done.
I don't think it has to go that deep though, because we hit that rock layer. I think if we use rebar and pour concrete directly into the rock layer, or like connecting it to the rock layer, tying it together, to be stronger than it could ever be.
Well, let's just hope.
No, it will. It'll be like having a footing that's the size of this whole property.
All right, well, that's today's goal. Let's see if we can accomplish it. So we had to dog-proof our holes yesterday after we finished. 2 of our dogs are not as clumsy as our other dog, Dilly. Unfortunately, Dilly is blind, so we have to kind of dog-proof the work zone area at times because he can't see a lot and he can fall into things, bump into things, and we don't want that. What did we do yesterday?
We dug a bunch of holes. We were trying to basically make the foundation for our porch and shade structure. So we had roughly marked where to put the holes and dug them down until we hit bedrock. And now we use these strings just to perfectly center where the actual holes are going to be. We made sure that these are like real centered, and that way I know where to drill in to install rebar. So we're going to connect rebar into the footings and mix lots and lots of concrete today.
Concrete day. Yeah. Did the Romans have J-bolts?
Maybe, probably not. I don't even know if they had bolts. I don't know. I don't know how they did it.
Then how was Rome built with just concrete?
Go back in time and ask Caesar.
Good morning, Vietnam. So, we're on our last day of finishing the pillars. We've got 5 down. And we have 1 more to go. 6, yeah. We have 1 more to go. We did finish that one last night, and then we just have that one over here to go. We weren't able to dig as far as we wanted to, as you can see. This is what, like 3 feet, babe?
Yeah, and then we hit bedrock.
Yeah, we keep hitting bedrock on all the
stone.
holes. So what we did was we got a rotary hammer drill and we drilled all the way down into the bedrock and put rebar, so we're concreting into the bedrock.
Yeah, essentially like we dug 6-foot holes and filled it with concrete is what this is like.
Yeah.
Except even better, because I think that this is a sheet of bedrock that goes under the whole trailer, under everything. They're all connected. They're at the same level, so this thing's not going anywhere.
Yeah, so we have one more to go today. We're gonna do a little bit of concrete work on this last hole, and then we'll be done with the pillars. We unfortunately could not get the metal we wanted yesterday. We only have one. We could have, but it was like, yeah, their markup, because it's the only metal shop in town, their markup was 105% markup, which I'm not trying to spend thousands of dollars on a roof.
Just the vertical pieces that hold everything this way would have been like, I think $2,400 if we would have went with their prices. And I think I found a way to do it even stronger and for like maybe a fourth that price. I think we're gonna build them out of like old oil drill pipe, which is essentially Schedule 80. It's like the thickest stuff for a fraction of the price.
Yeah, we found that on Facebook Marketplace.
It's still weldable. It's the same kind of material, just I think it's gonna be better.
We found it in Apache Junction, so we're not going to be able to do it this trip on the property. So we'll, on our way back to Cottonwood, we'll possibly pick it up, or at least pay for it and then pick it up on the way back. We'll be back out here in another week. So yeah, we're going to finish this up and then do some more concrete work, depending on how hot it gets and how long this takes us to finish. We're going to go out to the front of the highway and put our mailbox in. We're excited. We have an address now. Woo! Good morning, friends. Today is a really big deal. We are installing our shade structure that's going to house our solar for our entire house, our trailer, anything we put out here. It's going to be giving us electricity. And I'm so excited. Yesterday was a really long day. We drove out to Mesa, to Mark's brother's house, and he helped us prep a lot of the steel poles that we're going to be putting up today. He welded some square plates to them, and we're going to bolt them all up and see how far we get. I don't think the solar panels are going up today, but at least the base structure is going to be hoisted up. So we're going to see how far we get. There's only 2 of us. It's going to get hot. We woke up at like 4 a.m. to try to beat the heat, and it's already like 7 a.m. and we only have 4 of them up. So we'll see. pole before we bolted into the container. And then we're gonna start welding a bracket right here so the pole attaches to that one over there. All right, what are we looking at?
Good enough for.
Yep, dead nuts.
Good enough for Bizbone.
Good enough for Bizbone, good enough for us,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna turn it this way, clamp it to that, and then we'll send 2 bolts in here after we clamp it to the thing, just so we know it's lined up to level.
Let's do it.
All right.
Gotta get that welder out.
Well, no, this is already welded.
That one's welded?
Yeah, this bracket is already
Oh,
welded.
your brother did that one. Okay,
Yeah.
so the next
one we weld.
Okay, so the one over
We
there,
just weld it to a plate. To
connecting
bolt
it
this,
to
the
that
container.
one, we have to weld
Yeah,
to the container.
I'm gonna bolt it to a plate so we can weld it to a plate so we can bolt it to the container. I don't know if I want to weld to the container because we can start a fire. We can burn our stuff away.
Yeah.
And not just that, but like I want this to be modular. Like if we change the configuration or get a better container, I don't want to have to like re-weld stuff. I want to be able to bolt it back together if possible.
I like your style. Hi friends! The last few days on the homestead have been a tough one for us. We've been at our breaking point and almost about to quit. It seems like nothing's going right and everything's going wrong, including my hat flying away. Yeah, so our generator went out the other day, and it's vital for us to have it because we have our dogs, and it's, you know, hitting almost to 100 degrees every day, and it's really hot. So
Speaking of shade, your hat blew out.
oh, he saved the day. I thought it flew off the container. So yeah, you know what? Hold on a second. So our generator took a poop, and we had a backup generator, and that also took a poop within the last 2 days. So we had to pony up and buy a bigger one, and we were not budgeting that. So that was a pretty big loss in the bank account, but we needed it. We've got high temperatures here, and it's vital for us to have AC for our dogs at least. Like I feel like Mark and I could probably tough it out without AC, but our dogs, it's necessary for our dogs to have comfort. So that went wrong. I got stung by a bee for the first time in my crotch of all places. So that wasn't fun. Mark sliced his hand on some rusty metal. We're probably gonna have to get a tetanus shot for him. That sucked. We went to go get roofing material at Home Depot yesterday to make a roof for our brand new generator that we're trying to protect from all the monsoon rain, and not even a quarter of a mile onto our road, it flew out of the truck, almost hit a car. Thankfully it did not, but it pretty much destroyed the roofing material. So now we don't have any roofing material, and we're gonna have to go back to town and buy more, and hopefully it safely gets back here. We're gonna use my car instead of Mark's truck to get it back here. It was just one thing after another. Nothing seems to be going right. But yesterday, we got our first monsoon, and the sunset was absolutely magical, and it melted away all of our worries and reminded us of why we're here. And we just gotta take one step at a time, and we'll get there. The struggle is real though, y'all. So we just got this horizontal piece in. Now we just have one more. Mark's getting it leveled and mocking it up with some bricks before we get the metal brackets out and weld them onto the pipe. It's got to be very precise.
It's off at this level, which is level with the top of the container, and then I'm going to make a bracket situation to bolt into this, which is structural. This roof is not structural here, but this framing material, which is essentially, I think it's like 2x2 steel, so I can bolt into that like I did on the other tube, and it's like super sturdy. So this will be one and done. Once this is bolted up, we pull these bricks out and this is mounted.
Whoop whoop! One bolt closer to having shade. I can't wait. And then we can start putting solar panels up.
I've never done this kind of welding before, but I'm going to try this. I just got this Harbor Freight stick welder. I'm going to try and weld this to this. Even if this is like an ugly weld, it's not really going to matter because it's got all the weight of that roof structure pressing down, bolting to the top of the container. But we'll see what it looks like. I mean, probably not going to be pretty, but I got to learn it one way to.
Just bolted that bad boy up after welding it, and we are level.
They're not the best welds. They're probably the worst welds, but they're not the weakest welds.
Hey, give yourself some credit. This is your first time
with stick welding. Yeah,
stick welding.
I think I got the hang of it toward the very end. I was able to get it like where at least water won't get into it, and it's solid. There's definitely heat penetration through it. I think it's going to be just fine. So we made a slight modification to the design of our shade structure. We were originally going to take this piece and go across from the top of the container and like U-bolt this last cross piece into that going this way. And we just I didn't feel confident with, number one, my welding skills. They're terrible. Like I can't weld, but my brother can. If you look at the welds on this thing, I mean, it's just awesome. So he welded up these brackets for me to build this thing. I just couldn't come up with a way to mount this to the top of the container to make it as strong as I wanted it to be. And also, I don't know, I didn't like having this thing hanging off the edge with U-bolts right here. Like, so instead, we made another one of these vertical pieces. We just poured this base down here, like basically, what do they call those things? Damn it, can't think of the name of it.
A cement block?
a pier, I guess.
Yeah.
That thing goes like 3 feet down into the ground. It's got 2.5 bags of concrete in it and rebar, all the stuff going down in the bedrock. So that's going to be extremely stable, and it's completely independent of the shipping container. I think it's going to be a better design. It's just going to be stronger by a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
We're going to have like 1,000 pounds of solar panels on the top of this thing, so I don't want to risk it by making something weak, especially when I've already put so much work and obviously sweat into it. Like, let's just do it right the first time, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty hot out here. Not as hot as the valley.
Over 100 every day, so
yeah.
I mean, we're feeling it.
Yeah, and we've gone through 3 generators. We just purchased a brand new generator at Harbor Freight a few days ago, and it's already giving us problems.
I'm returning it. It's a piece of junk.
We're going to be returning it tomorrow. We do not recommend any of the Predator generators.
Yeah, don't get a Predator 9500 super quiet inverter. That's the most expensive generator they sell, and it just randomly shuts off. I've broken it in properly. We've changed the oil. I've checked the oil. I'm using ethanol-free fuel.
Yeah,
not overloaded. I mean, we're only pulling like maybe 1,000 watts total. It's a 9,500 watt generator, and it keeps shutting down, saying it's overloaded.
And this smaller dude we bought used from someone, but there was low hours on it.
Yeah,
and
low hours.
It does fine. It just it can't power what we want.
I mean,
we're literally just powering 2 fans, a fridge, and
like a little mini AC unit. Like it's a low draw AC unit.
Yeah.
Like a regular RV would have. Like this should for sure power an RV, no
the
problem.
The solar setup in our van was able to do it, but for some reason this can't. I don't get it.
I'm never ever buying another Predator product from Harbor Freight ever again, and I'm I'm probably gonna have to pay 20% restocking fee to return this thing, which is like $500. So thanks, Harbor Freight. Sweet. Sold me
We're
garbage.
gonna try to
Steal
sweet
my
talk
money.
the manager. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so now that we don't have a generator as of tomorrow, we're going to have to take a break and go to Mark's parents' house in Cottonwood and kind of reevaluate our plan to get AC because we can't.
Well, I already know what I'm gonna do.
What are we gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna get AC that runs directly off DC, so we can plug it straight into the photovoltaic stuff. Like we won't even run it through an inverter. It'll just be panels directly to the AC.
Sweet.
So, which the only time we really need it is when the sun's hitting it. So that way we're not even using batteries for it. It'll just make it cold.
Yep.
That's the idea.
So we'll share that setup with you. We're probably gonna be out for a week while we wait for that to be delivered, and then we'll come back out here and hopefully we can stay out here permanently after that.
I could handle it, but we've got dogs.
Yeah, we've got dogs. That's the
3
main
dogs,
issue.
And they've just been panting all day. It's not healthy for them.
No, it's not. So we're gonna get this leveled out before the sundown. And
This has been a heck of a week. I'm ready to be done for a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a rough one. We've wanted to quit so many times, but we're not going to. We signed up for this, and we're gonna tough it out. But we're gonna get this done before the sun sets, and we'll see y'all in a little bit.
And I'm gonna use this really cool thing that my brother welded to mount our Starlink instead. This is like the perfect size for our Starlink dish to be mounted.
Heck yeah. We set up Starlink a few days ago, and it's been beautiful having internet in the trailer when the generator's working and not shutting off every hour. Anyways, we're gonna get this done. This is us signing off. We'll catch you on the next one. Good night.